Alright guys, so we are back with a second video where I'm going to show you how to put the dimensions on your smiley just like the one that you see here. Okay, so we need to put all of these dimensions on. Part of engineering and designing is presenting your work to other people and making sure that they know what the dimensions are. So to make sure that you have gotten this correct, I need to make sure that I see the dimensions. So we're going to come over here to the dimensions tool. It kind of looks like a high jump with a 3 on it. All right, and what we're going to do is we are going to show what the lengths of all of these dimensions are. So the long edges are pretty easy. So if I hover over this line here, it turns blue, and so then if I click on it and bring it up, it shows me the length of that edge. The other thing that I can do, now if I look at this, I also need to show what the distance is of this left side. So I'm going to go back to SketchUp. I can go up to the corner and tap on it, and they go all the way down to the bottom corner and bring it over like that too. So you can do it either way. Now, we need, I'm going to go ahead and try to share my screen here. That way you can, okay, so let's make this a little bit smaller. I don't think it's going to let me do it any smaller. Okay, so I'm going to pull this over a little bit so we can kind of see. Okay, so if you look over here, you can see that we need to show the distance between where that slant starts and that right edge. Okay, so if we come over here to this edge, we can hover over this length and pull it out like that. And that shows us the actual length of that side. However, that's not one of the two dimensions about that slant that we need. We need the width of it and the height of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move my mouse and pull it up this way, and it shows me the width. Now I can also take it this way and I can show the height. So that one, clicking on that one line, will show you both the width or the height, but we need both, so we're going to have to do this twice. So I'm going to go ahead and click and put it there. Now if I need to move stuff around because things are in the way or I need more room, if you hover over it, it will give you the move tool, so it will let you move it. So I'm going to go ahead and I can also go end to end with this and bring that over here. Okay, now when we do, you can't see it because I've got the SketchUp window. This, the eye here, we need to find the diameter of this eye. So if we go back over here, I need to be able to highlight that whole eye, okay? So if you look, like if I'm right here, all I'm seeing is that green dot. I need to highlight the whole circle, okay? And so I can't go to one of these vertices of this many-sided polygon that has enough sides that it kind of looks like a circle. I have to go in between them to the straight edges between them. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and that's when I get that diameter. Okay, so I'm going to, oops, bring that out. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to bring that out here. I don't need these in any specific spot. I just need to be able to read them. Okay, now we have a radius down here. So I'm going to come down here, and again, I'm going to need to zoom in and make sure that whole semicircle turns blue, and then pull this radius out. Okay, now most of the other dimensions that we have actually involve the centers of the circles. All right, so what we're going to do, this dimension here where we go between we find the distance between the center of this left eye and this left edge, we're going to click on the corner. It's not going to let us find the distance between the center of the circle and the edge itself. We have to go up to one of the vertices. So we're going to go up to this upper left-hand corner. We're going to click on that end point where that green circle is. And then we're going to come over here, and we need to find the center of the circle. But we have to tell SketchUp that we want to find the center of the circle. So we kind of have to run, just kind of run your mouse. You're not pressing any buttons. You're running your mouse over the outside edge of the circle. And then you go to the middle and try it and see if it'll give you that center. And it will with that blue dot. So I'm going to click there. Once you've found the center of the circle, then it's easier to find it. So we need to find now the distance between these two eyes. So we're going to come over here. Oops, that's not what I wanted. And click on the center of the circle. But I don't have the center of this circle here. So, and sometimes SketchUp can get confused whether you want the center of the top circle or the center of the bottom circle. And if you get it, if you get the top of one and the bottom of another, sometimes it will, it can throw things off as you're pulling them away, and that's okay. If you're having problems with that, I can help you with that. Okay, so this next one is the 2-inch distance between the bottom edge and that that right semicircle with the mouth. So we're going to come down here to this bottom right hand corner, because again we can't just click on this edge down here. We have to click on this bottom corner, and then we have to find the center of that semicircle. So I'm just going to hover my mouse around the edge, and yep, there we found, oh, that's not what I wanted. So I'm going to Control Z because I didn't want that distance. There we go. So I'm going to pull it out here. Over here we need the distance between the left side and the center of the other side of the circle. So I'm going to click down here in this bottom left hand corner, and we've got to find the center of this semicircle. I'm just going to hover my mouse, and there it is. So that's 1.5 inches. And now we've found the center of both of those semicircles. So, and that should be easy to find that 2.5 between them. Alright, so now we look back on SketchUp, we need the distance between the bottom edge and that left eye. So we're going to come down here to the bottom left hand corner, click there, and go up here to, oh, it's not showing me the center, so I just have to do it again. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to click on the center and then bring that out there. The last dimension that we see on here that we don't have, see that little 1/2? That's when we did our depth. So I'm going to use my orbit tool, and I'm going to, it's a smaller distance, so it's harder for you, if you're zoomed out, to get that blue line. So I'm just going to click on the two corners, the bottom right hand corner of the front face and the bottom right hand corner of the back face, and now I have that 1/2. So it should be 1/2. Now, oops. Okay, so if you lose it, I was somehow rotating and it wanted to zoom way out. If you click on this magnifying glass with the arrows coming out, it's going to show you everything that you have. Okay, now Tom ends up making this a pretty, makes us pretty far from our smiley. So I'm going to click on Tom, and I'm actually going to click delete. And now I'm going to do this again, and oh, look at that. We've got it right back where we want it. Okay, so, oh, my battery's going low. Alright, so really quickly, I'm going to show you guys how to change the color, because you're going to need to change it to a color other than white. And let's let's see, so we're going to go up here to default tray, because my default tray is gone. I'm going to click on show tray and bring this over here. Okay, so I'm going to come down here to materials, and we're down here where it says materials. I'm going to click on solid colors. And the only request I have with this, the only request that I have with this is that you make sure that I can see all of your dimensions. So I really do not care what color you want. I think I'm going to click a teal color. Okay, so I'm going to click this, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select, oops. Okay, I'm going to triple click, so I'm going to click 3 times. Okay, and it clicked all the solid parts of it, and I did not, and then that's going to make sure that none of my dimensions end up this color. Okay, so everything was clicked, and now my figure is that color. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close my tray. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to put our name on there. So I'm going to click down here on the 3D text tool. Okay, and so I'm going to put my last name. You're going to put your last name. All right, and then I'm going to choose a font. I kind of like some fancier ones. I'm not too concerned with where it aligns with. I am going to make, instead of the height being 10, I'm just going to make it, oops, I'm going to make it 1, so I'm going to delete that 0. And then with the extrude, instead of 1 inch, I'm going to make it, a quarter of an inch. Okay, so you could also do 0.25. And then I'm going to click place. Okay, now you don't have to, if you don't change those settings, you're going to end up with a very big name. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that and show you. Okay, so, and we'll change these back, and you will see how big it is. Look at that. That's too big. Okay, you can't even see that. Okay, so you can either delete that, or you can come over here to the scaling tool. That's this tool right over here with the arrow that's coming out. And this lets you change the size. Okay, but this is so big that we are going to have to make some major changes. And then I'm going to have to go grab my move tool again and bring it over here. So it's really better if you can make those changes before you place it, but it's not a huge deal if you don't. All right, now if you end up wanting to, okay, and then this extrudes it more or less. I like it much closer to the surface. If you end up choosing this to be your thing that you want 3D printed, some of the fonts, especially like this, because they're kind of shrunk down, some of them don't print very well, so it's possible that I may have to change the font that you use. So just kind of be aware of that. The fancier fonts just don't print as well. Alright, so, and then yeah, it's not working out well. And then to go ahead and take a screenshot, you're going to search for the snipping tool. I'm going to go ahead and pin this to the taskbar. Okay, and then I'm going to open it. I'm going to click new. And typically you would have to then put your name on this when you take it, but it already has your name on it. Okay, and so then I would call this Smiley Merino and save it, and then that is the picture that you're going to turn in at the end of the assignment. Okay? All right, well, hopefully that was helpful, and hopefully you have a good idea of how to use a lot of the tools that we use here. All right? Happy SketchUpping!